if you always wanted to read tarot, but you were like too scared to figure it out, you're like, oh my gosh, I can't. What am I going to do with these cards? I'm scared it's going to tell me that I'm going to die. My boyfriend's going to leave me, or my girlfriend's going to go hang out with the mailman and never come back. I know that's funny, right? But I'm sure you just wondered, how in the world do people read cards like that? Well, guess what? I have a class just for you. This is Lisa with Heart of Inspiration. And starting on July the 20th, I am having a 5-week interactive tarot class. Now, before the tarot class even starts, you're going to get downloadable content, videos that are going to go through the major arcana. They're going to go through each of the minor arcana suits: wands, swords, cups, and pentacles. Very simple 3-card spreads. We're going to go over a little more complicated 5-card. We'll teach you a few here and there. And most importantly, though, we're going to help you tap into your own intuition, into your own knowledge, so that you can pull cards for yourself and interpret them. All of this for just $297. $297. You're going to get the videos. I'll even send you some PDFs with actual charts, so you can have a reference guide, and then 5 weeks of being in class with myself and with other students just like you, where you guys will have breakout sessions and be able to practice reading with one another. Now, the first interactive class starts on July the 20th, so it's going to be important that you go ahead and go to heartofinspiration.net right now, sign up, and then you'll get all of your class material the weekend of July the 6th, and then I'll be glad to see you there on July the 20th. Heartofinspiration.net. Just click on tarot classes. It's just that simple, from the comfort of your own home. I can't wait to see you. Have a great day. I can't wait to see. Hey guys, how bad is it buffering? Too bad? All right, guys, can you guys hear me? Can everybody hear me? Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh, I'm so glad to be back with you guys. We survived the solar eclipse, guys. We survived it. We made it through, right? And I don't know about you, but it was amazing for me. It was an amazing, transformative amount of energy that happened. The veil being thinned, different aspects of just who I am spiritually, who I am as a divine being. All of that just coming up, and really, it really did. I think if you were really paying attention, a lot of your innermost desires kind of came to the surface. It was so much about us as individuals, and what our deepest desires are, and really, especially spiritually, just having this understanding, a much deeper understanding of who we are and what we are capable of and what we should be aspiring to. Hello, Lee. So I want to say hello to everyone so far in the room. Hello, Lee. Hello, Raina. Hello, Neek and Mal. Hello, Victoria, dear. I miss you, love. I was thinking about you just the other day. Hello, Jasmine. Hello, Vernell. Hello, Miss Ashley, and hello, Miss Nita. All right, and as people come in, I will speak. But let's get right into this. I don't want to waste too much more time. Oh, and by the way, tomorrow, July 4th, so this is July 3rd that I'm recording this. July 4th, I'm going to do the drawing tomorrow for the 3 of you subscribers that will each receive your choice of either a Reiki session or intuitive reading. Basically, you get an hour with me. Hey, Deanna, you get an hour with me. So 3 of my subscribers will be chosen for that. Okay. All right, let's get started. Now, I'm coming out early with this lunar eclipse video. This is going to be an overview. And we're going to dive deeper into it between now and July 16th, which happens to be my birthday, by the way. So I'm super excited for this solar eclipse. I mean, this lunar eclipse. It's a partial lunar eclipse. It's not a complete lunar eclipse. Okay. It's going to be occurring in Capricorn, 24 degrees, 4 minutes in Capricorn. If you do not yet have your natal chart, I would advise you to get one. You can get them for free from Cafe Astrology. You can check out my trine, Shonda Rise. She'll be happy to get that across to you. Suri, thank you as well. And I'm going to display. Suri got me a wonderful gift for my birthday, and I don't have it down here, but I will display that. It's beautiful. Thank you, Miss Suri, for my birthday gift. So if you do not have your natal chart as of yet, please do get one, because as we're going a little bit further into these energies, I'd love to be able to talk with each of you, or we can just kind of have our charts together and see how this really fits, right? So you'll need your time of birth, your place of birth, okay, as well, to get a true natal chart. So hello, Erica. So this lunar eclipse is happening on July 16th at 24 degrees 4 minutes in Capricorn. So this is the second of 3 2019 eclipses that are happening in the Cancer North Node, Capricorn South Node axis. The last of which happens on December the 26th in Capricorn. But we will still be having eclipse occurrences or events that are happening along that axis into 2020. So we're not done with that the Cancer North Node, Capricorn South Node energy quite yet. And if you noticed at the beginning of the year, it was a lot about kind of purging. The first 6 months of the year was really purging external forces, really coming into a better understanding of who we are, and really coming into this understanding of not only who we are, but honestly, of this concept of who really belongs in our life, what belongs in our life, what can we kind of ditch, because it's no longer fits, right? So the first 6 months was a lot of purging that happened. A lot of purging happened. It was in preparation for this last half of the year. Because the first 6 months of the year, this purging the external forces, this looking at externally, what have we been told about ourselves? Hello, Nick. What have we been told about ourselves? What programs have been put upon us? What ideas, motivations? Is this truly our story? Is this truly what we want out of life? Do these people really belong? Are we in the right career? Should we be starting a business? All of these things. There was a lot of activity the first 6 months of the year. Now, starting this month, the light is now shining away from everybody else outside of us. And it is shining internally to say, okay, baby, it's time for you to step into your divinity. It is time for you to step into your power. It is time for you, now that you've put aside all of this, now it's time for you to say, this is who I am, and this is what I am, and this is what I want out of this lifetime, out of this human experience. That's what this has kicked off. Now, I'm not saying that we still won't be getting rid of a lot of that other stuff, because we will. Trust and believe that. It's going to happen. However, we should have gained the ability to sift through it a lot easier, to move through it a lot easier, to understand that we can let things go. Hey, TJ, let things go a lot easier. And it really doesn't hurt us as bad as we thought it was going to hurt us. All right. So here we are now. We've gone through the solar eclipse. And if you remember the solar eclipse, our inner desires came out during this new moon in the solar eclipse. We started this new focus on us, right? The solar eclipse showed us with different planetary aspects, specifically Saturn sextiling Neptune, both in retrograde, focusing on self, both in retrograde. Look over it. Okay, look it over a little bit. Let's make sure we're okay. But that aspect right there was showing us that it is that we have the ability to get material gain from spiritual endeavors. In other words, your gifts make room for you. Your gifts make room for you. So now here we're moving into this, and I know some of you all I'm still feeling it. I'm still getting downloads. I'm still getting information. I'm still at this fifth dimensional. The veil is so thin, it's like I'm here, but I'm not. And it's a constant, and I'm just having to get used to it. So if you're feeling this, like, come up here all the time, get used to it, baby, because that's how you're going to live. Also, what I notice has happened, those of you that have been really seeking specific things in your manifestation game, your manifestation game is on point, on fleek. It is hitting on all cylinders. People are getting new jobs. People are getting promotions. People are getting abundance. People are getting the motivation to do things. There's motivation to start channels. There's motivation to start other aspects of life, right? There's motivation, like, let's do this, right? Let's do this. But there's an opening, there's an openness towards hearing from above. There's an openness from this veil being so thin that it's so easy to hear from our ancestors, hear from our spirit guides, hear from the angels, and hear from Creator, from Beloved, from Supreme Source, from the universe in general. So we have to capitalize on that and keep it going. This is meant for a purpose. We're getting a foundation laid. So let's talk in depth now about this lunar eclipse. I apologize for that intro. So all the dreams of our purpose, etc., starting businesses, all of those things that the solar eclipse has illuminated to us. And that's why I wanted to talk about this right now, because I'm sure you're still getting stuff. So still get it. This energy is going to be its strongest from yesterday, I would say, through about Friday, Saturday. Okay? All of those things that we're getting clarity on during the solar eclipse energy, we now are moved to put into action. We're now moved to say this Capricornian energy says, okay, Cancer, okay, Neptune, y'all have this dreaminess, right? And honestly, the emotional attachment to the dream is good. Don't discard that emotional attachment. This is why it's such a powerful manifestation time for us, because putting your energy into motion or your emotion hastens the manifestation process. It's like, for those of you that bake, it's like the difference between a conventional oven bake time and a convection oven bake time. For those of you that know the difference, the convection oven, right? It's like this intense air heat that penetrates and circulates, and it gets all into whatever it is you're baking, and it hastens, without overcooking, it hastens the cooking time. So emotion is like putting it in the convection oven. If you're just thinking about it and just doing manifestation the old school way, it takes a lot longer. If you do it the way we're supposed to be doing it and putting your emotion with it, boy, it happens. Okay? It happens because you are recreating, you are reprogramming your brain to come in line with your higher purpose. What's happening is your crown and actually your Ka chakra, We'll talk about the Ka chakra soon. The Ka, the crown, the third eye, the throat, and the heart are all becoming in alignment. As that alignment happens, the third dimensional mind has zero choice but to see things the way the rest of your body, the rest of your being sees them. So the Capricornian energy then says we have to bring into the third dimension, because Capricorns are, Cancers will make your home and you'll feel real great and everybody will be, oh, I'm happy to be here. It feels so good to be here. Capricorn says, all right, that's cool, but we got to get that nice couch. We got to get those nice wall hangings and decorations. The lighting has to be good. We have to make sure the food is optimal. We got to make sure that we have the best refrigeration and appliances and all of this. Capricorns are much more like, okay, the material side of the intuition that the Cancer brings, right? We're opposite, we're opposing signs. So what Cancer says, I really feel this should be what we should do because this feels good. Capricorn says, all right, yeah, okay, fine, all them feelings is great, but let's put it into motion. Let's get it here. And let's not just dream about it. Just don't talk about it, be about it. That's what a Capricorn says. And all my Cappies in the room can attest to that. Y'all like, don't talk about it, be about it. Throw up some hearts if y'all Cappies agree with me. Put them hearts up in there. I know y'all. Okay? So the Capricorn energy now says, okay, now it's time to go. So when we have this lunar eclipse, it is a very, very strong manifestation energy. Think about it. If the Capricorn energy is much more third dimensional and the Cancerian energy is so emotional, that's how everybody talks about us. We so emotional, baby. We with the Whitney Houstons, right? So you've got the practical here and you've got the energy and the spirit here, and the Temperance card then that represents, right? That Temperance card. I wonder if I could find one real quick. That Temperance card that's representative of Capricorn. It is like during this time period, we are going to be able to put that energy into motion and into an amazing level of use. The minute I want to find that darn card, she don't want to pop her head out. But I'm going to find it anyway. She going to try to hide on me. Hold on. I want y'all to see this Temperance. Here she is. In the Gilded Tarot. Yes. Let me kind of get that where it's not so. I hope the light doesn't. She's mixing spirit and third dimensional logic, spirit and third dimensional action, emotion, right? Emotion and what the third dimensional mind can see. So it's time to put us in action. This is very powerful energy. However, there's always a however. However, we have Pluto that is in retrograde as well, and it is conjunct to the moon and to this eclipse. That is that Plutonian energy is a disruptor. It's about power, it's about transformation, it's about you got to change who you are at your base, right? That Plutonian energy is all about I have to disrupt the pattern so that we can transform into something new. Do not be surprised if during this time period, the shadow and a little bit after, that you feel some intense emotional reactions to things and it starts to trigger emotions and memories or what have you that you didn't think was still around. You thought you dealt with it already. There might be some compulsive behavior that happens. You might feel like, I don't know why, I just got to go do this, but You know what I'm saying? It's stuff that you ain't done in a while. And it may end up in some power struggle that then results in crisis, especially in relationships. And we're going to talk about the Venus aspect in here in a minute. So don't be surprised if somebody says something to you that all of a sudden triggers you. You're like, what the world is this? And it results in crisis. I don't want you to run from the crisis, y'all. This is why we're talking about it now. Hey, Cassandra, this is why we're talking about it now. I don't want you running from the crisis, because from crisis comes growth. From crisis comes renewal. From crisis comes healing. From crisis comes transformation. I want you to take those things, and instead of lashing out at that person or anybody else, and I mean, especially don't bring it here anyway, but instead of lashing out, what I want you to do is then instead take that they take that crisis that's been popped up now, take that like, oh my gosh, what in the world that happened here? I ain't thought about this in a long time. I thought this was healed. I thought I dealt with the roots of this a long time ago. No, what this is doing, it's illuminating this. So if you get overwhelmed by this, I want you to go to your meditative state, and I want you to say, okay, why am I feeling like this? Why am I triggered? Why am I upset? What is this? And then allow spirit to illuminate that to you so that it can be healed. Iyanla Van Zant says something often, that what cannot be spoken cannot be healed. But the beautiful thing is, beloved, you don't have to speak it to the world to get it healed. You can speak it between you and spirit. You can speak it in your alone meditation time. And as you speak it, and you don't even necessarily have to say it out of your physical mouth, but out of your spiritual throat chakra, what is going on here? Examine it and then allow it to be healed. Do you hear me? So I'm telling you what to watch out for so that when it happens, it won't catch you off guard. This is why I'm talking about it now. We're talking about the lunar eclipse on July 16th of 2019. The lunar eclipse also expected it's going to expose dark secrets. And it's going to have a higher degree of feminine, divine feminine energy. Now, that's because when the moon is in, the moon is a cancer, it's Cancer, right? The moon is all about emotions and all that. The moon card is also, the moon, while it's our ruling planet, is also the card for the Pisceans. And there's a lot of secrets, right? Pisceans don't necessarily always tell everything that they're feeling. Now, I know somebody understands what I'm talking about when I say that. Pisceans don't always tell us how they're feeling. So there's deeper, dark secrets there. So while your intuition, they say women's intuition, right? So while your intuition is high, that also means there's going to be some dark secrets that's going to be exposed. I wouldn't be surprised if we see another sex scandal come out globally, or just other general secrets come out globally, on a big scale. Don't be surprised if all of a sudden you find out something that you wasn't expecting to find out, either about yourself or about somebody you closely into relationship with. So that segues us into the divine feminine is in effect. Now we are, and TJ and I were just talking about this last night. Divine feminine energy is CSI, FBI, CIA, KGB, NCIS, MI6. We gonna get to it. We gonna get to it. And we're going to go with our gut, and then we're going to start asking questions. Okay? So don't be surprised if it pops up. Don't be surprised if you all of a sudden are like, dang it, I didn't never see this like this. So what's being done in the dark, or what's being felt in the dark, is going to bubble up. but it's bubbling up for a reason and a purpose. It's not bubbling up for you to run off. It's bubbling up for a reason and a purpose. Now, Venus is opposite Saturn during this time period as well. So that aspect is not the best. Venus is direct. Saturn is in retrograde. That ain't the best aspect for love relationships. So let me tell you, it's not the best aspect for love relationships. So if you was thinking about asking your significant other how they feel about you, that ain't the day. Matter of fact, all that week I wouldn't ask no questions if you ain't sure. Um, I would expect to see maybe a little bit more discord between the two of you. If it's not a love romantic relationship, it is a relationship you value highly. Okay, it's a relationship you value highly. But I'm going to really kind of be honing in on those love relationships, okay? The stability of Saturn being in retrograde with the reversal of Pluto showing everybody stuff and saying, we got to change. Look at your mess. You got to clean it up so we can transform and go forward again. And then Venus being direct saying, oh, you didn't want to see this before? Well, I'm going to show you now. I I'm going to set that right there for a hot second. Now, all of that going on, one would say, holy cats. Please try not to break up with nobody. Please. Don't break up with nobody. I wouldn't even say starting something like really brand new. I wouldn't even do that during this time period. I would not make any grand declarations of love and admiration. I would not make any grand announcements. I would not make any overt, you know, leave things as it is. Because if something does pop up, we also still have Saturn sextile Neptune, which is going to ease this a little bit. It's going to give us the hope that something good is going to come out of all of this stuff that is coming up. Do you hear what I'm saying? So all of the see, this is the thing y'all have to remember. This is why I don't mind disagreements. Because as iron sharpens iron, right? So does a man his friend. You need from conflict comes resolution if it's handled correctly. And there may be something that your beloved really has wanted to talk about but can't, and now all of a sudden it's just popping up because of the emotional energy that's around. And how you receive it and how you process it is going to be very critical to the resulting next 6 months in your relationship and maybe even beyond. So let's be a lot of understanding of what our loved ones are saying to us and what we're saying to our loved ones, and not process it as such a personal affront, but something that they need to deal with. Now, if it's a personal affront to the effect that they cheating, now that's a whole nother issue. But hey, Google user, hey Jillian, however, oh, Bixby just really listening. But even Bixby is a nosy bitch. Oh, I know what happened. I said Google and listen. Hey Tawanda. I'm gonna cut that part out. So even in this framework, even if there's infidelity going on, I will tell you, even infidelity, depending upon what happened, is usually a sign that the one party is not getting emotionally what they need from the relationship, unless they're just like a sex addict and just, just a player or play it. Okay. So even that, I'm just saying, don't make any sudden decisions. So this eclipse being um, conjunct with Pluto, memories, we talked about the memories that are going to get triggered probably because they've been buried deep. Expect heightened Neptunian energy, resulting in more dreams, visions, or psychic interpretations, and meditate a lot. I will tell you, if some major things come up and trigger you, and you don't know how to handle it, it might be good to go to whomever is your spiritual counselor, so to speak, and whatnot. I'm not going to say go run off and get a whole bunch of readings. Please, people, stop getting readings every day, because the energies don't change that quick on a dime unless somebody has really done something odd or new, drastic, and learn to really try to depend on your own intuition and guidance. Coming to us for major things is one thing, but this might be a good time to get some energy cleansing as this is bubbling up. So, do, if you have someone that you work with, do that as well, okay? Because this is really going to be a very cathartic time for that thing. But your meditation game needs to be on point, because as you can go within and quiet your mind and really, really get down to the root of why you're triggered by this memory or why you're triggered by a phrase. Do you understand? Um, then you can really affect a very, very deep healing. Now, the sun is in opposition of Pluto. So do expect during this lunar eclipse, do we expect some self-esteem issues? Okay, but try not to doubt yourself. Remember all the gains you've made during the solar eclipse. Remember all the gains that you've made, because it's very important to remember that. So don't try not to do anything that's going to be self-destructive either. So, and I'm gonna tell you how that really plays out. You got all this Venus stuff happening too, so that could play out like, don't give in to jealousy. Don't go keying nobody's car and flattening nobody's tires. Don't be going through nobody's phone looking for stuff. Don't go looking for stuff you don't want to find. And don't ask questions you don't want the answer to. I don't know who I'm talking to. Y'all may see this video later, but please do not be going through nobody's phone. Check it through pockets, on the iCloud. Don't do it. You're going to find something you didn't want to find. Let whatever it is come out. And because you know what will happen during this energy? You will misinterpret something because you're questioning your own self-esteem at the moment, because that's the energy. So be aware of that. And when those thoughts come up, dismiss them. I am loved. I am lovable. I am beautiful. I am wise. I am intelligent. I have a good relationship, whatever it is. All right. Well, Tawanda, not everybody can handle it. Sometimes we misinterpret what we think is the truth. That is my, for those of you watching the replay, if I take the live chat off, Tawanda said she wants the truth no matter what. I'm telling you, sometimes we will misinterpret it. So just be careful about that kind of thing, okay? Venus, the Venus-Saturn aspect also, though, on a positive side, illuminates areas we can use self-development in. And it should give us the unction to say, okay, these are some areas. You see, with all this crap coming up, that's really what's happening, is we're being encouraged to develop ourselves. Do you see what I'm saying? So you've got it. That's another positive theme. Venus trining Neptune, relaxation and daydreaming. So, honey, if you got to take a day off and chill out and soak in your Epsom salts and then wash all that toxicity off, and then soak in some frankincense and myrrh. I'm going to start putting some links to that in my description box where you can get it. Honey, do it. Okay, get your smell good, put your candles on, you know, it's gonna soften the harsher Saturn energy. And then finally, Saturn is still sextile Neptune, beloveds. Because Saturn is still sextile Neptune at this time, we still are being encouraged to have material to put into an actual business practice the things of the spirit, spiritual pursuits. We're still being encouraged to do that. Okay? Even with all of this. So this is a very disruptive, intense energy. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. However, it's also a very cathartic time of identifying where we still need to be healed. And the beauty of it is this is coming on the heels, on the tail end of the access to the fifth dimension and higher, but the access to our fifth dimensional beings being so almost effortless. Don't rely on your third dimensional self to heal spiritual wounds. Instead, rely on your fifth dimensional being and the access you have there. And speak with other beings that are enlightened and awakened and can give you good guidance as you go through this, instead of simply doing things the old way. Don't do it the same way you've always done it. Do something new this time. Accept the disruption, because after this disruption, bye-bye TJ baby. After this disruption, after this interruption of the pattern, what results from that is you are new, right? You're that beautiful butterfly. So we're going through the cocoon time, and now we're going to be getting ready so that we can emerge that beautiful butterfly. So that is the summation, if you will, the overview with some depth of the lunar eclipse, the partial full moon eclipse on July the 16th, 2019. Okay, so this is the end of the teaching portion of this video. So if that's what you were looking for, that's fine. I will take a few questions from the live chat. I do want to just briefly remind everyone I am having tarot classes that start on July the 20th. That's $297. You can go to my website to register. 5-week interactive course. And I also have recommendations for decks as well. You'll get video content downloadable that you can have to keep, some written content charts, and then you'll have interaction with me and with the other students learning how to read the tarot. We'll practice, we'll teach you some spreads, and we'll help hone your intuition, which is the most important part. Also, from now until the full moon, in celebration of my birthday, for just $51. Normally $100 is an hour of my time. So for just $51, you are able to get a Reiki session with me, an hour of my time for just $51 as my gift to you all. And if there's any other way that you wish to work with me, all of that is on heartofinspiration.net. You're so welcome. So are there any questions in the live chat before I kind of close this out? Any questions in the live chat before I close this out? And we'll just wait. Some of the other things that are happening. We also do have aura reading. We also do have cord cutting or energy, spiritual cleansing. Um, Sometimes it's hard for us to let go of the things that are so tightly ingrained, or we've got unnatural or unhealthy ties to someone romantically or otherwise. And you just need someone to go in and kind of cut those cords and clear it out. So you can go to heartofinspiration.net and book a session like that with me as well. We do it distance. I will say it will be live video conferencing as well. When is the When is the third dimension, the fifth dimension, and this energy isn't? Yeah, I'm not sure if I understand fully the question, but I think I'll answer it. So for now, the third and the fifth dimension. So third dimension, right, is our physical being, right? Everything that's in the physical is third dimensional. Um, 2D is a line, 3D is, actual form. Fourth dimension is time. Fifth dimension is the first realm of the spirit. So your fifth dimensional body or fifth dimensional being is your spiritual being. So when I talk about going to the fifth dimension, it's ascending outside of time. It's the first dimension that lives outside of time. So it is not constrained by time. So when you can get to that level, that dimension, and visualize what it is that you wish to manifest, and then bring that energy, that frequency back with you into the third dimension, that your body, then your heart vibrates at that frequency and your mind vibrates at that frequency, that's when creation happens. um there's no reason to be nervous about being away from home. um and please, in the sextile energy, can you explain? Can you like retype for now what you mean by that last part about the Saturn energy? There's no need to be nervous, Raina. There's no need to be nervous. I don't want anyone to get nervous about this energy, guys. That's not what this is for. This is so you can begin to understand what's coming. And then in the coming days, we're going to talk more and more about this event, this energetic event, and how we can use it to our benefit. Okay? How we can use it to our benefit, both personally, in love, in work, in career. We'll talk about different ways to utilize it to our benefit. Okay. Um, Hello, Neek. The sextile energy. So I think maybe you were talking about Neptune and Saturn being sextile. That just means they're kind of like cousins. Um, that just means they're kind of like cousins. So they're in agreement, right, about how things should happen. So the Saturn Capricornian material energy, job, that kind of thing, is in agreement with the daydreamy, spiritual knowledge, deep spiritual things that Neptunian energy is. And as they are in agreement, that's when, so for instance, channels, YouTube channels could take off. Or if you've got a Reiki practice, it'd be a good time to really put that in place and get that going. If you're really operating on a higher level, that's where this can happen. It's not going to happen for you though if you're not coming at it from a pure standpoint, because what happens is that all the rest of this energy, this Plutonian energy, right? It shows people's true motivations behind what they're doing. Everything secretive comes out. So if your motivations for what you're doing aren't true, it doesn't get blessed. Period. It just doesn't get blessed. Mel says she's ready, trying to heal and purge everything and anything that doesn't belong with me. And that's exactly what we should be doing with this energy. For some of us, it's gonna really it if you were wondering about some things, I'm not saying break up or do anything like that, but if you were wondering about the person in your life, mm, you're gonna find out some things about yourself, and you're gonna find out some things about them that you were not expecting to find out. But you needed to. Everything happens for a reason. True colors is coming out. True colors are coming out. People that are about truth is coming out. It's coming out. It's coming out. You're not going to be able to fake the funk. You're not going to be able to fake it. So, which is good because which is good. We need to know that, right? We need to know it. Okay. I can't help it, sir. The only time my face is a poker face is when I'm playing poker. Um, okay, guys. I'm gonna let y'all go. Thank you guys so very much for being here. Oh, good, Vernell. I'm glad I answered that for you. Thank you guys for being here and joining me. Start looking for some of the other July information to come out. And we'll continue to talk about this lunar eclipse. I'm going to dive deeper into it and the energy and how we can use the energy uh, to our benefit, okay, as time progresses and we get closer to it. All right. Peace, love, blessings, and joy be unto you today, tomorrow, and for all eternity. I love you guys so much. Namaste. Bye-bye.